Oh my God, yeah, we have one more to edit, but yeah, we'll be doing that for the next week or two. Good. Your house is, you guys are doing all this stuff. My mom is like obsessed with buying. And she's like, I'm like, Mom, she's like, why is that? It's Steve, and I'm like, so my mom really order. I'm like, Mom, well, I'm asking you. I already told you that. And so yes, I am. I thought that was I don't know this market. Nothing. So started on
It's a great time today. We're fortunate to have an expansion team. Our team out in over in Naples on the wrong coast. Did I say that on the wrong coast? But that's okay. We love Naples. Beautiful place. We love Naples. And they have a member of their team. Okay, I need your attention. And everybody's excited to talk to each other. I love that. Shane Botfeld is their representative here. And Steve. So we're excited to have him here, and they have a lot to share with us today. So, gentlemen, thank you all for coming over today.
Thank you. Thank you. Thanks, everybody. Who has ever heard of social media? Okay, it should be everybody. Does everybody here have a phone?
Yeah.
Does everybody have Wi-Fi? Fantastic. So you're qualifying for being in this class. My name is Stephen Varnkov.
Nick Westbrook.
And my name is Joshua Holt. And we are a Luxury Alliance team. And the three of us created this little class called Social Success. We're powered by Keller Williams and KW Naples. In 2021, we helped 118 families, and we did 65 million in volume, and we pay absolutely $0 for leads.
Zero overhead. We'll kind of talk. I'll introduce myself real fast. Nick Westbrook. I'm 38 years old. I was born in Clearwater, Florida, so raised on the West Coast. Moved up to Brooksville, Florida when I turned 4. and I started a career in playing baseball. Played professional baseball for a little bit, got released, came back home and started running retail stores. I have 2 kids, a 12-year-old daughter and a 10-year-old son, who keep me very busy, and an entrepreneurial wife as well, who's been running her own company since she was 19 years old. I came from the corporate world of retail management. So I ran, I'm sure you heard of JCPenney stores. I ran JCPenney stores, I ran Bell's Department stores, and Dick's Sporting Goods stores, starting at age 24. Worked my way up to running the biggest store in Tampa. At age 30, my wife got into this little thing called multi-level marketing. You guys know what that is? So Team Beachbody, we were a part of that company. We were top 1% in the entire company out of 200,000 people. And we made amazing residual income. So I sat down one day, I'm like, I'm gonna retire. So at age 31, I came home, retired, and helped her in her business. We were averaging about $9,000 a week in residual income. And when I took over, it almost doubled. So what I did was I took everything that company taught me and how to grow a business through multi-level marketing, social media, and brought it into real estate 5 years ago. I've only been doing this 5 years. So that's my background, and kind of explains how I am, because we all run the team, but I ran teams of employees with 110 people, 150 people at one time. So with 3 businesses inside one building. So that's my background. This is Josh Holt.
Hi, my name's Joshua Holt. I'm the youngest of the 3. I recently started growing a mustache. Don't. Too much. I figured why not? So I grew up in Florida, North Florida. My wife and her family are from Naples. They're actually our kids. I have 2, or the 8th generation born and raised in Naples. So when I got into real estate, I didn't know anything. I was the most naive newbie on the face of the earth, and that was a great thing, because I went right into Keller Williams, and as we know, this is the greatest company.
Yes.
I'm still with them today. Before I became a full-time realtor, I was doing construction, home remodeling. I had some acting stuff, operational management. I had a lot of different jobs. When I proposed to my wife, I had 3 different jobs, technically 4. One day, 7 or maybe 8 months into my career as a new agent, and I was cold calling and doing traditional stuff that did not connect with me, didn't resonate within me. I had this idea of what we're doing today, but I had nothing to compare it to. And they joined my office 7 months after I did. They taught a very, very premature version of this class. And I promise you, I was the only person in that room who said, I want to do that. And I was the only one. I was literally 1%. We're going to give you everything. We're going to give you every single thing that we give you today. But I promise you, 1% of you are going to implement. So if there's 50 people in this room, that's half of a person. I'm serious. I'm serious. It's so simple that it's difficult. But I mean, look at us now. Like, this is crazy. And this is so.
Last year we did 19 million. The year prior.
2020 we did 19 million.
Yep.
We were poised for greatness, and we'll get into that. But that's a little bit about me. We love to have fun. I like to fish, golf. I'm not that good. And I love houses.
Yeah. Okay, I don't know how I'm gonna follow that, but my name's Steven Barnkov. I've been doing real estate for about 5 years full time. I grew up here in South Florida, in Cooper City. Before I became a realtor, I was a full-time musician. So I'm a singer and guitar player by passion, and I've been doing that since I was a little kid. And I was a sponsored musician with Margaritaville. I met Jimmy Buffett personally. I used to play at Boca Resort 3 times a week. Every single major venue in South Florida, I've been there and I've rocked it. So that was my thing. And then I became a realtor and went through some hard times. I got a divorce, but when I got the divorce, my business quadrupled because I became happy. And it's because of that woman, Joya, who's an amazing photographer. She has a company called Luxury Lens, who does all of our listings and a lot of people in this office, I'm sure. She introduced me to my best friend, my now wife, Melissa. So thank you, Joya.
Thank you.
And now we have a 1-year-old daughter named Sophia,
Oh my God.
and she's being babysat by mama right now. So this is daddy free time for all of us. So I became a realtor. It was a struggle to get going, but once I started implementing these types of ideas and I went all in on online lead gen and social media, my life changed forever, especially when I met these two gentlemen to my left.
So how did we meet, Steve?
We met through Beachbody.
Which was, how did you find me though?
I met him through Facebook,
There you go, imagine that.
and I saw that he played golf and he lived in Cape Coral, and I was like, I'm thinking about moving to Cape Coral, why don't we play golf? So I went over there, I met with him, we had a great time, he brainstormed for like the whole round.
Mhm.
And I said, I need to partner with this guy. And the first year together, we may have done like 5 million in volume together.
Yep.
We were hitting FISBOs and starting or like hitting the ground running with social media. And we grew it from 2 of us doing 5 million to 10 or 11 of us doing 60.
Yep.
In a matter of like 3 years. And it's all been through online lead gen, not spending money. We don't want you guys to spend money because the ROI is so much higher. It's not necessary to build relationships. Using social media as a tool to build relationships is what we're here to teach you about.
That's right.
On that, we'll go through our agenda today. So these are just a couple bullet points. We're going to talk about Facebook and social media in general, because that's a broad spectrum. We have the jab, right hook, which is
Gary Vee.
Yes,
There you
yes,
go.
yes, yes.
Yes.
Nobody knows
more Gary Vee than me.
I'll bet
you I do.
I don't think so. We'll talk about attraction marketing, which is at the essence of what we do, how we get leads for free, and more results, more income. You'll hear me talk about it a few times today. The law of large numbers is one of your greatest friends, and social media is catalyst for getting into that. This quote here is timeless. Okay, this right here is the mantra of everything that we're doing. If we just think about 25, 30 years ago, people who swapped out a Rolodex, right? You've got to go with the time. So social media is not a fad, it's a fundamental shift in the way that we communicate. Whether or not you like this is irrelevant. Personally despise social media. I was off of it for 3 years before I became a real estate agent. But look at what it does for us now.
The day that Josh came into my office to talk to me about joining our team, he didn't even have social media on at all. So that kind of gives you an idea. Last year, Josh himself did 21 million. Yeah. 21 million. So he sat down with me, and the way I am, I think about like, how can you get your steer into your social media? So we're going to teach you guys how to kind of think back of people because when he told me that his wife was the 8th generation from Naples and our office is in Naples, my head just exploded. I'm like, oh my God, there's so much money sitting in your phone right now that you don't even know about. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
You don't know about.
Yeah, and on Facebook too. I'll put that. We'll talk more about that. Just touching on this one more time. This is not going away. I know I said it's whether you like it or not, it's going to be there. People are communicating, whether it's for a good thing or a bad thing. We personally, for us, social media is a business tool. A lot of people have the thought that, well, if I use it too much, I'm just going to get roped into the feed, right? And Steve's
been there.
I'm guilty.
Yeah.
I'm guilty of scrolling aimlessly, and it's not fun. So we're gonna teach you to be intentional. And like, I have a limit on my phone now. It's like 15 minutes a day. So I go on there, I get in, I get out. I post, I comment on people's threads, I build relationships, I send 25 messages a day, and I'm out.
How many people do 3 hours a lead gen? Nobody? Really? What?
Two.
What's going on here? 2 people? What does everyone else do? What's everyone else do?
Maybe let them not do that.
No, we probably spend maybe 30 minutes a day on Facebook. Very intentional. Very intentional. And that's all that it is.
Who in here hates cold calling?
Raise
You're
them high.
in the right place then.
And not saying it doesn't work, it just doesn't resonate with us. Right.
It works, but it takes 10 times the amount of time to reach a certain amount of people that would take you 15 minutes to reach those people.
That's on your audience, Steve.
So make sure on your Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn, make sure your posts are reaching as many people as possible. The more people you reach, the more business you create.
So how do you do that?
there's multiple ways.
Go ahead.
You can be funny. You can share pictures and videos of your family and friends and your hobbies. And make sure you're sharing stories that are captivating for your audience. Like, this is the average realtor post is gonna say something like this. Just closed 1 million, bought myself a new watch. 1 million, just closed 2 million. Going to buy myself a Chanel purse, right? But like, imagine if you take that shift and you say something like this. Just closed 1 million. When I gave the key to this buyer, they literally started to shed tears because they were told they would never accomplish the American dream. This is the reason why I wake up every day and why I do what I do. Happy closing day.
Yeah.
We're actually gonna pull up our social medias and kind of show you how we post and the things that we post, because anything we post about real estate typically is a story about the transaction and how that transaction went down. We try to keep the seller or buyers out of it, but at the same time, we tell their story, because when you do that, it connects with the people in your audience, right? And that's what pulls people in to follow you. And if you continually do it over and over and over and over, people are gonna reach out to you to do real estate with you. Who in here has had someone reach out to you through Messenger to do real estate with them? Right?
Right.
And then, so on the side note, who in here pays for leads?
What is,
Okay.
okay, what?
That's great though. I mean, and so the leads that you're paying for, how hard is it to convert those cold leads?
Harder than social media.
Exactly. So that's my point exactly, because people on your social media already know you, like you, and trust you. Okay, so that's pretty much the whole premise of what we do. I was sitting here earlier at this table and I had someone that want to buy 10 acres with me for $1 million. That just messaged me on Facebook. It happens to me 3 to 4 times a day, and I'm not kidding. Like, it really does. It's crazy. So I'll talk about timing real fast, and then we'll have.
I'm gonna touch back on audience.
Sure, go ahead.
The thing about the audience, does anybody have an idea how many active, and I have stats on this at the end of this, but do you have an idea of how many active monthly users there are on Facebook? Someone take a guess. Who said?
Billion.
Yeah, it's about 3.5 billion every single month. Every person in here could have 5,000 friends, and you wouldn't even touch the amount of people that are on Facebook on a monthly basis. That's insane. You have to be, so we'll take traditional 3-hour cold calling, just as an example. We're not, just as an example. The objective is to call 300 numbers, right? Potentially talk to 50, convert 2 or 3 of those. With the click of a button, we have the ability to reach 80,000 people.
Mm-hmm.
It is that simple, utilizing groups, pages, not even just our own personal pages. And we'll also talk, one of the biggest questions we get is if we have a business page or a personal page. That'll be asked at some point, and we'll direct it then.
You're already thinking it probably.
Yeah, but your audience, this is a lot of large numbers. The more people you're talking to, the more business you will create. Moving on to timing.
So timing, you gotta think about it this way. When are people on, right? When should I be posting? Okay, so every single morning, if you go to my Facebook, Nick Westbrook, you'll see around the same exact time every single day I post at 7 a.m. Because people wake up and the first thing they do is they look at their phones. You know, you all do it, right?
Yeah.
And so where do I get my ideas from? I go back to my memories and I look and see the things that I posted in previous years. And it'll show, I've been on Facebook 9 years, and it shows every single year I posted something. And it'll usually jog my memory to create another post, or I go to Instagram and look up hashtags and steal other people's posts. I go in groups. There's an easy little group tab at the bottom of your Facebook, and you can scroll through all the groups you're in. I'm sure you're in a ton of real estate groups, so you can look and get ideas from that. We steal each other's, we steal our teams, they steal ours. This is just, we round robin all of this. It's awesome. So in the middle of the day, right? What are people doing on their lunch hour? Scrolling, looking at their phones.
Eating Jersey Mike's, sponsored by Howie Sachs. Mid-Atlantic Mortgage.
So post in the afternoon, and we're gonna talk about what to post, because you don't want to just keep jabbing real estate down people's throats because they're gonna get sick of it, right? I'm sure you understand that. And then at night, when mom and dads put their kids to bed, or even my mom and dad are on their phones at night. They got the TV playing in the background, but they're still scrolling through their phone instead. That's when you should be posting too, because that's when the eyes are on. So Josh he's like the data guy and researches all this stuff, but everybody says post by at 9 is the best time in the morning. But I always just post at 7 because it carries through that hour. So just once you start doing that every day, people will literally search my Facebook to go see what I posted because they know I post. So you get more eyes on it that way. So you're gonna talk about appearance, Steve or Josh? Which one?
So I have a question on that. right
Sure.
there. Is there like a time frame from the moment you post something to the moment it starts falling off of people's,
After an hour.
is it an hour?
Mine's different for some reason. It used to be like that, but literally I can post something now, and especially if it's a story, and within 5 days, I'm still getting
Yeah, you can still
interactions
get
on
more.
it. You know what I mean? So.
It
yes.
depends on how well it interacts with the algorithm.
Right.
Which is essentially what it's all about, and that's why these systems make sense and the timing makes sense. Facebook treats you like a puppy. The more you play with it, the more it plays with you.
Yep.
That's good, right?
And then if, I mean, we'll post something, if it's dead, we delete it. You know, you don't want to keep stuff on your Facebook or your social media that's not getting attention, because then your algorithm goes down. So if you leave it up there for 2 hours, you get 5 likes, you take it down, you find something better. Yes, Joy?
And consistency is really key.
Yes.
I'm a little bit guilty of this because I'm very busy doing a lot of real estate, but the more you post, the more people it's going to put your post in front of. So if
Exactly.
you're only posting once a month, and you're not getting a big reach, don't give up. It's just because you're not posting often enough. So by copying that model and posting multiple times a day,
Right.
Facebook will reward you and push you out in front of more and more people, or friends of friends, and et cetera.
Yeah, I dare you to try and. spread your
Have you
Facebook.
guys heard of an
It'll
author?
take forever.
Have you heard of an author named Darren Hardy? What's his big book, The Compound Effect?
Yes.
So the compound effect, he talks about the water well. At first, you really gotta start pumping really hard to get a drop of water out there. But once you start doing it consistently, you're gonna have a steady flow of clean water coming out. So that's what this is all about, and that's lead gen in general. But the way we do it is just gonna 10x your success in such a shorter amount of time.
Not only that, but if you literally just go through your phone right now, you could probably find about 2 years of post material when it comes to videos, photos, anything like that. Because every time that we go get a new phone, all those pictures and data come back over into your phone. And you can literally just go on TikTok with it, Instagram with it, all the old stuff that you had and still make it fresh.
Can
So,
I touch on post appearance
Yeah.
and lifestyle? Alright, so what I really, my whole thing here is I want to teach you guys to not be posting real estate. Sounds weird, right? It's all about the South Florida lifestyle. Your favorite restaurants, your favorite beaches, museums, Murakami, Miami, Art Basel just happened, like big events, big concerts, anything that is South Florida and is relevant to South Florida, you need to be sharing the story. It's not about real estate, it's about peppering in the real estate.
and guess what? When you do that in your market and you're showing all the stuff going on in your market, you're gonna look like the expert in your market to everybody on your social media. So
Like Gary Vayner, if you guys don't know Gary V, you need to look him up right now. Like he talks about, he has a book called Crush It, okay? Great book on Audible if you have Audible. It's all about being the mayor of your city. You're out and about doing this, this, and this. You're interviewing the local principal at the best high school. You're out reviewing restaurants, and you're out and about. You're on YouTube doing all these different things. You should be the mayor of Boca Raton. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So when it comes to appearances, you always want everything to look cohesive, right? Same filters, just like on Instagram. Steve's more the Instagram guy, I'm more the Facebook guy, Josh too. But post appearance is important because if you're scrolling through a feed and you see just a blah picture that's ugly, you're gonna keep going, right? But if you see one of Joyer's pictures pop up of a drone, you're like, whoa, you know
You're
what I
gonna
mean?
stop in your
So
tracks.
yeah, you stop in your tracks. And we're gonna show you guys some ways to make your page kind of pop too, because that's the most important thing. If someone goes to search you, they need to first off know that you are in real estate, right? And that your photography is phenomenal. Because guess what listing sellers want? They want amazing photography. Yes.
I want to say something else that's really important and relevant. Nobody really puts their phone number anywhere. So like when you go to my Facebook, I know that a lot of agents want to contact me right away. They have a listing they need to shoot or something they need shot.
and my phone number is right there. So if you can put your phone number top of your website, top of your Facebook, top of your Instagram, that way people that aren't really good about going and checking their messages, they can just reach out to you directly, send you a text, or give you a call. And that's helped me a lot, so.
I love that. They also said that Georgia Tech University did a study, and they said that posts with people's faces on it perform 34% better than a post that was just like a picture. Yeah, it's all about make it personal, you know, like being authentic and real with who you are. People are gonna resonate with that. Like when you talk about the struggles that you go through, people are gonna resonate far more with your struggles than they do with your successes. Like trust me when I say it's been a very long and hard road for us to get to where we are, and even such an early stage. But there's been times where I literally had to go to the ATM and I couldn't take money out because I didn't have any money in the account. Or I got a call from, I don't know if I told you the story, but I got a call from Toyota when I was first starting out. I had no money, and I got a call from Toyota, and they're like, "Listen, man, if you don't make one payment on your car, we're gonna have to set the dogs out to get it." And like, but if you're real about stuff like that, people are gonna resonate, man, because we're not all perfect. No one's perfect.
And the thing about us is we're not scared to tell people that on our social media. We're not, like, we just, you know, we go back in time of all the stuff that happened to us, and we actually like write and blog about it. And when you do that, someone's gonna relate to the same issue that you went through. And next thing you know, they're gonna be messaging you saying, "Hey, I've been through that as well. How did you get through it? My dad's actually been thinking about listing his property."
There you go.
So what budget?
That's my little joke I put in there. Legitimately, our budget.
Tell them our budget.
Our budget is nice lunches, golf games, boat rides, fishing trips,
Right off.
vacations.
Right off.
That's our budget.
Because when you're out doing those things, you're networking with people, and then when you meet them, you friend them on social media. Right? Do you guys do that?
Yeah.
Yes, perfect.
You have to. It's a full circle thing. So this is what we call the jab, well, not me, but it's the jab, 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 right hook. It all starts with personal. I'll touch on the personal a little bit that we wrote there. So personal, I want you to make sure that your audience knows who you are so they can relate with and trust you. The big thing about social media is that you can earn somebody's trust in a very, very small amount of time. It's very easy to get that trust. Social media is the modern version of American acting in the early 1900s. What do I mean by that? I mean that when American acting became a really big thing in the early 1900s, it was the closest that an individual who was not a part of the royal family could get to being royalty, because people crave their attention. They look up to them, they idolize them. Social media is the modern day version of that. On a smaller scale, but still the exact same thing. I can't tell you how many people follow us that we've never met. I haven't even had a conversation with, but are legitimately obsessed with us. And it's just a thing, it's a thing that we've all.
I'm obsessed with you.
It's something that we've all come to terms with. Nick has been catfished. His whole family's been catfished.
It's pretty crazy.
But it's something that we've decided, like, hey, this is, like, I mean, personally, I support firearms. I have my own. I can protect my family. So I'm personally not afraid of that. But bringing people into your life.
Why is that? We're going to outdoor world after this, everybody.
Bringing people into your life and showing them who you really are on an authentic level is going to make them trust you, because that's 99% of getting the business, right?
Is everybody in here have their Facebook set to public?
Yes.
Everybody?
You'll know it's public if there's a globe emblem. And not when it says just your friends, that means no one else can see it except your friends. But when you're posting real estate, you want that globe so everyone can see it.
And unless all of your private friends are hedge fund investors, you're not doing yourself
Yeah.
any good. I was gonna say, where was I at? Oh yeah, so personal. Why is it, another reason it's important? Can we all agree that there is a national stigma against realtors?
Yes.
People hate us,
Yeah.
right? I had no idea what a realtor was when I became an agent. I truly didn't. We were meeting with somebody yesterday on Marco Island, previewing a $5 million new construction house. He legitimately got into real estate because 40 of his golf buddies said, "I hate realtors."
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, "Should I get my license?"
And they're like, yeah,
Like, we will only do business with you if you do.
He's getting ready to list a $5 million house, and he was wearing fishing pants and a fishing shirt.
Flip flops.
And that's, I mean, that's what we do. When I first started, I remember wearing a three-piece suit, and I showed, I think 27 houses over $2 million, and I went to this one, and this guy was wearing board shorts and flip-flops. And ever since then, that changed my mind. My flip-flops are $1 million flip-flops. I was gonna wear them today, but I had a bruised toe, so I chose not to. But the thing about being personal is that you just show people who you really are, right? You're more than just an agent. They want to get to know you, and next thing you know, they're gonna do business with you. You want to touch on humor?
Yeah, so humor, I post a lot of humor, actually. Most of it is quotes, funny quotes. So obviously, you, like, everybody see gas quote, like, stuff right now, right? So I would say that I posted something about gas about 4 weeks ago, and then I just don't. So you try to get in on the humor early, especially when it comes to stuff happening in society. You don't want to keep like feeding it, especially with like the gas stuff right now, because it's getting old and people will actually unfollow you and you'll lose business. And same thing with politics as well. You just got to stay out of it.
you have to stay neutral when it comes to politics. You don't post it, you don't swear, anything that could be used against you on your page, you don't do it.
Exactly, but
And some people have the reverse effect. Some people go polarized on their politics, and they get a bigger following that way. But for us, we're carbon neutral, and it works out great for us.
it's true.
We work with everybody.
If you look at Josh's Facebook, Josh Holt, if you look at his Facebook and look at his reels, you'll see where the humor comes in. Probably a month ago, he started doing reels, 2 months ago.
It was in January.
That was in
We'll talk
January.
about the reels a little bit.
But no, listen, because of his humor and, you know, he's an actor, so it's easy for him to be on video. He's gotten 8,000 followers in 2 months from reels. A couple of videos over 3 million views. So, and 4 million. Now, that was last coaching or last.
And I'm getting paid for it.
Yeah, he gets paid through Facebook to do reels, so. So when it comes to lifestyle, you guys live in heaven, right? Like this is God's country. It's amazing. We have beaches, we have some of the best restaurants in the state. I mean, just all of the stuff that you're doing every single day is a post, right? Even if you're going to see a $400,000 house, whatever, there's people in that market that still need to buy that property, right? So as you're out and about, we go to the beach all the time. You know, I mean, once you start sharing your lifestyle, people want to be in your shoes, especially when they're up north. We just expanded to Ohio. You think that's smart? So where should the people that follow you be wanting to come?
I'm gonna touch on that a little bit.
Go ahead.
So my biggest thing is Facebook groups, local Facebook groups, okay? You guys all need to add yourself to the local, like Delray, Boca, Deerfield, Fort Lauderdale, and you need to be posting what?
What happens when you post real estate in those groups?
Nothing. They kick you out. But when you post lifestyle, it's the complete opposite. You can actually get awards now by posting groups, and people will like it so much that you get an award. So if I were all of you, I would go out to Red Reef Park today and go to the beach and post the sickest picture of the beach you've ever seen. I would go on the app Snapseed to make the picture pop, and I would post that baby into the Boca group and watch those likes pour in.
Not only that, but when you do that, what market are you hitting?
Local. And not only that, but a lot of those people don't even have to live in Florida. They might live in New York and have a vacation home here, and maybe they want to cash in on the hot market going on right now. So as an example of lifestyle, so for me, I posted something in the Deerfield Beach group. It was a beach picture, like I always do. And I added a friend, didn't think anything of it because I add 25 people a day, which is what you all should be doing, is adding 25 strangers a day to your Facebook page. Out of nowhere, I get a message on Facebook. It's like, hey, Steve, I know we don't really know each other, but I've been following you for about 6 months. Me and my husband want to sell our beach condo. Can you come take a look at it? I never met her in my life or had a conversation with her, but she trusted me enough to have me come over in her home. I listed her beachfront property, Joy did the pictures, and we sold it for 1.1 million cash. I brought the buyer as well, and I double ended it. Lucky dog.
Just from one post in a group.
Yeah, and guess how much money that cost me? 0.
Steve, when he got his divorce, went to Exumas and went to, and was in an Exumas group, posted a selfie and it told a story in that group. Next thing you know, we're listing a property in Cape Coral that was literally 5 minutes from my house from a person in that group. And then we sold them a property over here.
In Parkland, yeah, not only that, yeah, I went to the Bahamas by myself and posted it in the Exuma Bahamas group, some crazy picture. This lady's like, oh, we live in Cape Coral. I was like, great, so do I. And she's like, we wanna sell it. We sold that house for 400. She bought a house in Parkland for 800.
And she is.
1.2 million, and her wife is a doctor.
Yes.
She's a doctor, she's a OBGYN. Do you think she might know other doctors? She might know other doctors that also might buy houses in Parkland.
Before we move on
It
to
works.
lifestyle, does everybody heard the stat of how many people visited Florida last year, right? Yes, ma'am.
I'm sorry, I just had a question.
Yeah,
So
sure.
when you post in groups and people have conversations with you, do they know you're a realtor because they check your page, or how do you start talking about?
Ooh, algorithm, I love it. I love it. You friend them. Next thing you know, you start messaging them. This is why the algorithm is beautiful. You message them, they're gonna start seeing your posts. You don't have to tell them. They will know you're in real estate.
Okay.
It is literally, you can tell them, you can be direct or you can be indirect. Either way
I
works.
choose the
And
indirect.
they know like by the about me or something, they'll just know.
Sure.
No, I mean, the thing is, they'll start to see your posts. And when you do this, by the way, this is a daily mantra for us, 4 posts a day, right? We do 25% or less on business. But next thing you know, all day, someone's knowing something about you. You had coffee this morning, which could also be lifestyle. You posted something funny. You did lifestyle, maybe a picture of the beach. Boom, you sold a house, you went to a community, you got a new painting, you expanded somewhere, you're teaching, you're learning. Well, but next thing you know, they know you're in real estate indirectly without you cold calling them, right? People hate it. You call people today, just an example, they don't pick up. They don't pick up. What are they doing? They're on their phone. People are reserved. Like, we have to operate with the time. COVID made everybody get on their phone. Everybody had the excuse to not talk to anybody.
When COVID hit, you know, I was living in Meisner Park. We had a conversation with these guys and our OP at the time, Adrian Sabatino. And I said, what is the most important thing that I could be doing right now during COVID when no one wants to see each other? In fact, we're shunned for seeing each other. What could I do? And it was care messages.
Yep.
So it's something as simple as caring and just reaching out to people to see how they are, just to say, hey, how are you?
Yeah, we'll touch on that.
Yeah.
I want to go back to the
Go ahead.
posts. So the lifestyle, back to my question, of everybody knows how many people visited Florida last year, right? 118 million. Ron DeSantis announced that about a month ago, the most in our history. Lifestyle is, without getting political, it doesn't matter. This is more important than ever because people want to be in Florida.
That's right.
And if you're sharing it and you're letting people, everybody wants to know, I mean, it is in the back of their mind. And one day, because of you, there's gonna be a tipping point and they're gonna say, I'm coming, I'm ready, I am ready. And next thing you know, you're gonna be who they contact. So this is more important than ever. On to business, 25% or less is the rule. They know you're in business, believe me. Let them know you're in business, believe me, they probably already know. I can't tell you how many people reach out to me a year after I last talked to them. They just been following me on Facebook. Hey, I'm ready to do something. They know.
Sometimes 5 years.
Yeah, yes, ma'am.
What's your average lead time frame for when you're actually converting? So like when you start doing this stuff, it's.
Right now, it's pretty
when you
immediate.
start seeing-
Right, I would say in this, right now, it's pretty immediate because for us, we're good at showing people urgency, right? Before, there was some conversion to it, and we have some conversion now, but it's more immediate right now. And that may change, yes.
And other than anything that puts you in, posted anything that puts you in Facebook jail. like your mom.
No,
No, because we're carbon neutral. But
stay neutral.
yeah, but we have, so if you utilize some of the, like if you send too many messages, too many friend requests to people you don't know, you'll get put away, which we've been there, we've learned from it. It's interesting you asked that, because the algorithm stuff is up and down. For me, especially lately, I don't know what it is, but my engagement goes up, goes down, goes up, it goes down. I don't know if I get reported on for things. Potentially I do. I pretty much just post kids and the beach and houses. I don't know if somebody just doesn't get me. But
There's always jealousy.
there's a lot of other people that get put in jail, for sure.
Yes, ma'am.
Do you post every day? Like,
every day.
Yes.
4 times a day. That's why I said
This is it
earlier,
right here.
if you go on my Facebook and you try to go to December, you're gonna be there for 30 minutes scrolling. It'll take you a while.
And you don't get flagged adding 25 people a day, right?
No, it's kind of the
That's why we cut it
maximum.
off there,
Okay.
because if you try to do more than you will, I don't know if you guys have ever seen like a viral video or something and you try to send it to a bunch of people through Messenger, it stops it,
Yeah.
right? So when you do add all these friends from the groups that we're talking about, or even from up north from groups, you want to ensure that you go through your friend requests at least once a month and just delete the ones that haven't friended you. Because what happens is they stack up, and as they keep stacking up, then it'll flag more. So if you go in and start deleting the ones that you already requested, then it's more slim on your friends list from the request side, and you're not gonna get flagged for it. But don't do more than 25 a day.
Plus, you don't need to. So Steve's got about 5,000 friends. Nick has just over 3,000.
4,000.
4,000. Really?
Yeah.
Wow, I've got like 2,400. So if you add 20 friends a day, by the end of the year, I mean, you're adding a substantial amount of people, even if 10 of those start requesting it. You know what I mean? It's 3,600.
We always get
people.
the question, should I add the realtors that friend me? What do you guys think the answer to that is?
Yes.
Yeah.
Always.
You have to understand, we are in the greatest company in the world, the biggest and largest and greatest company in the world. And if you're not using this incredible company called KW to get referrals, you are missing a major chunk of business. It needs to be an integral part of your business. You could be talking to KW agents in California, in New York, in Ohio, and you could be creating relationships with these people that are sending you referrals. And vice versa.
Don't just farm Boca, farm Earth.
Farmer, remember, you can get a referral fee for anything. So if someone's like, oh, do you work in New York? Yep.
Mhm.
I'm gonna have my partner Nicole reach out to you in 2 minutes. She works all Manhattan, she's the best. And we'll take care of you. I'm like, okay. And guess what? You just made a $5,000 check for referring somebody.
Just one more question, I'm sorry.
No, we want questions.
We want questions.
This is a conversation.
Okay, so this is your personal Facebook page or?
There's the
have
question.
you-
Personal Facebook pages.
Or have you created a business?
We'll talk about this.
We have a business page, but don't use it.
Well,
It's
not necessarily, just don't listen to Steve right now.
It's strictly for listings and pendings, and we post things like that. Strictly business.
It's strictly for reviews, because
Yeah.
you gotta think about it this way, right? When people search your name on Facebook or your company name, they're looking for reviews, just like Google SEO, right? So if someone searches Luxury Alliance Team on Google, you're gonna see that we have 16 5-star reviews. If you search Luxury Alliance Team on Facebook, you're gonna see we have, I think it's like 18 5-star reviews. So that's why we have it, and we do post content on there every now and then. But if you ask me the question, have we ever gotten a lead from it? I'm gonna say hell no.
Right.
Right? Because when you do this is your personal Facebook, and the reason you're doing it on your personal side is because it's personal. Does that make sense?
The digital world is, they hate business.
Yes.
They hate it.
So you
Except
gotta,
us.
you gotta treat your business page just like a Google page, right? I'm gonna talk a little bit about like groups as well. So who in here gets tagged in a group when someone says, do you know a realtor about that? Anybody? Right? So I have a story about what happens to me because I get tagged in Cape Coral groups all the time because I actually created Cape Coral groups. Okay. And the reason I started doing that is because I was an admin. People knew me. I'd be walking through Publix. They'd be like, hey, Nick. And I'd be like, hey, how you doing? You know what I mean? There they are. And so once that happens, people are using groups like SEO now. They're actually going into, say, the Boca group, and they're just typing in, you can just go to search and hit realtor. And guess what they're going to do? They're going to see all these names popping up. And when your name pops up the most, they literally message you and say, hey, I was looking through a Cape Coral group and saw your name 100 times, and I'm messaging you because I see nothing but good things about you. And then you get a lead like that, them reaching out to you, and it's free.
And that's been happening with real estate agents as well. Just a few weeks ago, I had somebody who looked up a past post, they wanted an agent in Naples, they didn't ask in a referral group, they literally just searched the group.
Yep.
Saw my name pop up in a post 10 times, and now we've got a $500,000 buyer, just like that, yes ma'am.
And you can start your own group.
Oh,
You
yeah.
guys know Nikki Klein, she started Monorama, and that has a ton of people in that group, so starting your own group and making sure that it's geared towards the audience that you want to speak to, you can just start growing that.
So
Perfect cue into our next slide, attraction marketing, what it's all about.
I do want to talk about that real fast though, because what you can do, if you guys on your computers, you better start like doing this right now. So you think about domain names, right? When I own a domain name, no one else can own that domain name. So same thing with a Facebook group, right? So if I want to create a group called Moving to Boca,
Which we have done.
or Moving to Deerfield, or Moving to, you guys need to start creating them now because no one else can do it.
Because they search on Facebook, moving to,
Exactly. And those groups end up building themselves because people want to know that are moving here, right? So it's that easy to just build it and just hold it there, make it public, and it pretty much grows itself, and you already own the domain name, and you're an admin, so when someone asks that question, who sees it first?
You do.
We do. Yes.
Because that's the back end stuff of computers. So adding that group that you create on Facebook.
Yep.
Is that what I'm saying? So I have a GoDaddy, I would add that.
No.
No, no,
So
no.
I'm comparing the two, because when you own a domain name,
Yeah.
that's different because it's for a website. When you own a group, it's a group on Facebook. But what I'm saying is no one else can create the same group if you go create it right now.
Right.
Okay? Yes.
You have to pay for the domain name, right?
No.
For the
for the
domain name.
domain name for a website, for the
Yeah, for the
Facebook
website.
group page, no,
No,
but those are two different
It's
things,
free.
two different things.
I'm just using it to relate the two because they're pretty much the same thing, right? You own a domain name, no one can create one. You own a Facebook group, no one can create the same exact name unless they put like a tagline at the end of it. So when you do that and create that group, make sure you put like original after it. That way people know it's the first group. All right.
Literally the word original.
Sure. Moving to Boca original group.
I won't be surprised if people at some point in the near future start bidding on group
Yes.
names on Facebook. Truly, like I would, there are some groups I would buy.
Yes.
Simply just because so many people, I've gotten banned from groups because I got tagged so many times. And I would buy it. I literally would, yes.
Why write original if they can't copy it anyway? The group cannot be
You could, because the thing is, you could write, let's just take, for instance, this is already a group, but you could change it. You could have a moving to Florida group. Move it full word Florida, right? Someone makes another group, moving to Florida FL.
Or
Two different
moving
things.
to FLA. Or
Move it, right? So you have the original.
Exactly. That's why I'm stating the original side, or you can just put that on the backdrop on the page.
And this kind of goes in with everything. So attraction marketing is ultimately what it all comes down to. This is the personal, the humor, the fun, the lifestyle, and everything other than the business that you can throw in there. It's all encompassing, right? It's one full circle. It's pretty much a 100% thing. But this also, if you're gonna make groups, you can make any group that you want. Who all has a hobby? Somebody has a hobby. Tell me your hobby.
Golf.
Golf. So
Oh, we need to
we
play.
love golf. We love golf. Are you part of any golf groups on Facebook?
Do you take clients to play golf?
Yes.
There you go. That's good. That's
Have
good.
you ever made money from meeting someone playing golf? Have you closed the deal?
No, but I have got business. I just have to do.
That's okay.
It's all right.
Nick used to hop on greens.
I would call a golf course and I'd say, you got any threesomes today? So I can jump in with them. And then you're stuck with those people for 4 hours. So it's always gonna come up, you know?
You can make a golf group and so maybe there's 40, 100 people in it. Next thing you know, you've got 100 golf buddies. If we're gonna, let's just be honest, people who play golf have money, opportunities are there, right? So that's just one example. Any other hobbies? Who's got a hobby? Everybody's got a hobby.
All right, dirt bikes.
Other than Netflix, what's the hobby?
What's your hobby?
I'm a hairstylist.
Oh, awesome.
See?
So is my sister.
Yeah, so you could even start a community around that, you know, because.
Talk to my clients all about it.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Yeah, just add them in, you know, add yourself to this group, you know, add your friends to
And
this
you'd be
group.
surprised if we just do a post like, you know, in addition to doing real estate in South Florida, I also have a strong passion for doing hair. you'll be surprised how many people are gonna reach out to you and just be like, oh, it's amazing, I can hear too.
Mhm.
Or I'm looking to buy a house.
How do they find it? Like, I know this difference, how would they find that group? Like, so you connect with them?
Well, it's just if somebody's searching, like it's, if they're just searching for Boca Raton or they're searching for Delray.
Social media is the new Google.
There's a search engine on Facebook,
Yes.
and that's primarily what we're talking about. I mean, there's different ways to search than the other things. We're just focusing on Facebook really. But there's a search engine at the top. You type in somebody's name, you type in a city, you can type in any one of the apps on Facebook and it'll pull it up. And then you have a bunch of options: posts, people, groups, pages, places. I forget what they all are. But
So would the algorithm start to get them to get yours to the top? Because how do you get them to join your group?
The easiest way is word of mouth. That's the
Word of
easiest way.
you can invite
But
people.
I just looked right here and I went to groups and I typed in Boca. The first thing that pops up is Boca Raton News, Boca Raton Moms. So if you're a mom, boom, you could easily get in there and get some leads fast.
Even if you're not a mom.
Yeah, I'm in,
What's your
I'm in
favorite
Cape
stroller?
Coral
I'm
moms
not
because
ready.
my.
And what would you say so that they know you're like a realtor, but you're not getting kicked out for?
That's what we're gonna touch on next when we post and
Yeah.
we'll touch on that next.
Yeah, so did we answer most of your
Yes.
question?
Someone has moved, oh, this is our group, moving and selling in Boca Raton, we already created it. Isn't that crazy? It popped up when I searched Boca. So there you go, that answered your question.
So yeah, some examples: food. Maybe you go to a nice restaurant, a new restaurant, an old restaurant. Share with people. Love food. Food is a culture, right?
I eat
Share-
food.
Share it with people. Your hobbies.
Who's been to, you guys been to, what's the burger place? Rebel House. You guys like Rebel House? I know the owner very well. I became friends with him from Facebook. And I've been following his journey from when he took over the Rebel House. And now he's built 4 other restaurants. And now I'm talking to him about buying a house. And I met him on Facebook.
Yes, that's how it all goes around.
You can post things about your lifestyle. We're down here in Florida. We literally have everything you could ever want to post about lifestyle. Your families, sports, luxury branding. If you want, this is a big question we get. If we want to be luxury, how do we be luxury? You can convince anybody of anything on Facebook. The attention span of people today is about 7 seconds. Legitimately, it's smaller than goldfish. You post one, I should have had an example of it. We have a new agent on our team. Her name's Dawn. She hasn't closed a single deal. But we closed in December, $2.3 million house. We told her how to post it. So the thing with our team, and this is what helped me grow in the beginning. The thing with our team is that when we close something, it belongs to the team. And we say, hey, you take it, you run with it, convince your audience that you did this. Next thing you know, she posted it in the way that we told her to. She got a ton of engagement. All of a sudden, she's a luxury agent. Yep. Someone starts asking her, and of course, we're gonna walk her through it. Like that's how we work. But you can convince people of anything. All it takes is a luxury preview, a luxury closing. I'm sure you guys would love to help each other out become more luxury, right?
Who has listings in this room? Listings? You guys all need to be if you don't have listings, preview listings of the people in here that just raised their hand. Go take a tour, do a selfie at the house, preview new construction, whatever it is. Like perception is reality. What people see when they see you post, they're gonna believe it. So what are they seeing? Like when you post something, what are they gonna say? She's a luxury agent, or they're like, they're gonna say, oh, she's a really good mom, and they, oh, she just so happens to be a real estate agent.
That's the goal. That's the goal.
And guess what? That's not your listing.
That's the goal. I love that you said that. The goal is for them to see you as Nick the golfer, Nick the dirt biker. Oh, and he does real estate. That guy is awesome.
Can I share a story of how I was not there yet, and I made the switch to getting people to believe that I was a rock star agent when I wasn't, but it switched. So I was a musician. So when I was playing music full time and trying to do real estate, but struggling, I was always posting my gigs. I was posting at Boca Resort. I was posting at Margaritaville. And then little by little, I realized like my friends were buying homes without me. And I'm like, what the hell's going on? I'm like, am I a bad person? Am I a bad realtor? Like, what is the deal? And then I heard the term perception is reality. And then I started switching and posting more about real estate and real estate and real estate and real estate. And all of a sudden, my best friend bought up my first house with me. I'll never forget it, Boynton Beach for $240,000. That was my first one. I made like, I don't know, $5,000. I was like, yes. You know, and it takes time, but when people start seeing that you're the expert, you're not just like a local musician. You're not like, even though you love hair, you don't want them to think that you're only doing hair. You want them to say, wow, she's killing it. No, I'm not. It's not my listing. But they think it is.
It's true.
You know? And then it becomes what you do. And then I remember the most heart-wrenching thing for me was my best friend, since I was 10 years old, bought 2 different houses without me when I was an agent. And I was so upset, I didn't even talk to them for like a year and a half, my best friends. And I was so upset, and I was like, what is wrong with me? I remember sitting in my apartment, can I get real with you guys for a second? I remember sitting in my apartment, I had no money, and I'm like, I literally Googled what to do when you're broke. I was like, what do you do when you're broke? And Tony Robbins popped up. You guys like Tony Robbins?
Yeah.
He goes, you have to get into action physically, and you need to work out every day. And you need to work yourself out physically and listen to personal development every day so that your body and your mind are working together in symbionts. That's number 1. Number 2, find a model that works for you. For me, it was a guy named Tony Giordano. He's with KW as well. He talked about social media and online lead gen, digital door knocking instead of real door knocking, and it just clicked. And I met this gentleman right here. And all those things started to change. And all of a sudden I shifted from being a local rock star to a rock star real estate agent.
Steve did play. Steve did play at Red Dash as well, in Texas. Too,
Yep.
you know, so.
Right before COVID hit, literally a month before COVID hit, I went to Dallas with these guys. I played in front of like 5,000 people. And then I come back and it's COVID hits, you're having a baby. Right? And I was like, nah, COVID's nothing. What are you talking about? And Melissa, she was like, babe, I think this COVID thing is something bad. She's like, it's not going away. I was like, I don't know what you're talking about, but you're crazy. Yeah, she's so nervous. But you know what? And then COVID hit, and then what did we do? We started sending care messages.
Yeah, and I think COVID really blew our business up because we were already digital too. And everything already went or was turning to go digital, especially with like people's jobs, right? So it created a lot of relocation here in Florida. And when people already know we're digital and we're out doing virtual showings already, they're calling us to do those showings because they know that we do it. So if you guys need to stay in front of this, everything that we're telling you, and continue to do it because it's not going to go away, like Josh said. But the thing is that it's not going to go away, but it's always going to evolve. So we're here telling you what's happening today, but tomorrow could be different. So you got to stay on top of it. Yes.
And to that point, when new social media channels emerge, like
Yeah.
TikTok, if you can get on there, even if you don't know what you're doing, you can make little videos and save them in your drafts until you feel more confident. But being there first and starting to produce content there first, you have everyone that's coming in underneath you and you're automatically getting boosted to the top. If you guys were first on Instagram 10 years ago, you have much more followers than somebody that's going on today and starting an account. Not that you can't grow it, but you just already have all of those people funnels in. Everyone consumes so much content, but the people that produce content get rewarded because that is what the main function of these sites are. So they want to hook you up for putting stuff out there. And you don't have to get super overwhelmed. You can batch your content. You can say, okay, on Sundays, I'm gonna sit down and think about my 24 posts for the week because I'm super busy with work, my kids, working out, eating dinner, my husband, or whatever it is. And you can have those ready to go.
That's right.
Yes, sir. On that, like I say, film and take pictures of everything every day. Don't overwhelm yourself with trying to do your job, take a picture, post it all on the same day. My stuff that I post is never from the actual day of it. And
Sure,
whenever-
yeah.
So I have a quick question. So I understand with the whole Facebook user groups, you get a following like that. And how do you do that type of stuff with like Instagram? where it's, you know, you don't have those type of groups, you don't have those type of
You know,
communities.
I'll tell you what I like to do. This is, on Instagram specifically, I like to, I'll take lifestyle videos or pictures of like the beach in Naples or the beach in Boca, and I will actually tag the city of Naples, or I'll tag the city of Boca. There's different groups, there's different pages on Instagram especially. I think one is Discover the Palm Beaches. There's a bunch, but you can actually tag that or tag the restaurant. And if you tag them in your stories, sometimes they'll repost it for you. And your name will pop up when the Rebel House sees you shared their burger.
Ocean
Yeah,
Prime's
you
done
can
that for
message
me
them and ask them,
before.
hey, would you like to share this? Like,
Yeah.
an awesome picture at your restaurant, or this steak dinner was phenomenal, and like, I wanna share my picture.
Yeah, if you go to
Share my
Max's Grill, you tag Max's Grill, you know, and all of a sudden their followers are seeing you because you shared the content and tagged them. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense.
Or you could
I like doing that just because.
Or you could headhunt the hashtag the other way for the people who use
That's
this.
what I was gonna say, is like, if you're eating at Max Grill and you put the hashtag Max Grill and you posted that, take a second, take a minute or two, go under that hashtag and see other people that have used that same hashtag.
Sure.
And just like, you don't even need to say anything, you just like
Yeah.
like some of their photos, again, don't go crazy, because then you'll get flagged. Like, heart like 10 or 12 photos, and then they're gonna be like, what, where did that come from? Because, and then they like look over and then they see, oh, he just posted Max Grill, and then they start looking at.
You're talking exactly about what
Yeah.
companies do, where people will actually pay them to get a following. That's exactly what they do.
I have a friend, he took a picture of his kid, he happened to tag it, Apple reached out to him and used the photo of his son in a national campaign that was on billboards, even in Miami.
That's
And
great.
it was a photo that he took of his son and he had it on Instagram, and Apple reached out, like,
That's
Apple
fun.
used it.
Yep.
Power
Gonna go to
social
the
media.
next-
And paid him
I
hefty.
want to touch on these three last ones, just
Because you use the
the personal vulnerabilities. You can choose how personal you get with people. For us, we're an open book. I mean, you had a great post. I wish I could. Which one? Show it to you. Well, we will at the end. The one about the arm, the one about the arm, the baseball.
When I was
thing.
pitching.
The baseball thing. Yeah, he had a great post about a letter that he had wrote when he was pitching. And it was just a personal vulnerability of a story that he had written, I don't know, 15 years ago, maybe.
Probably
something like that.
20 years ago.
Yeah.
Probably 20 years ago.
We have people who talk about, Steve talked about his divorce. I mean, just everything that happens in our life, not everything, most things we'll share with people, and it gets them to trust us. And then we touch on tell stories, not just celebration. This goes back to what Steve said earlier. When you close a house specifically, it's not just, hey, we closed, let's celebrate. This is what happened during that transaction.
Right.
And the objective is to get people to read that post and realize that real estate is not HGTV, because that is what you're fighting against.
It's not.
It's not. It's not. That's honestly, that's what you're fighting against. And the way that you get around that is by telling people what your job is, because they honestly don't know. People think that we just drink mimosas, drive around all day and get $10,000 checks.
I mean, I had a client, I had a closing recently where it's not all sunshine and rainbows. You have to share that. I had a client, her husband passed away. She was selling the house. It was just her and her daughter. They wanted to move to South Carolina. I got the house under contract cash in 2 days, and everything was going smoothly, and the seller was drunk and smashed into her HOA clubhouse.
Literally drove a car into it.
They drove the car into the clubhouse, and the HOA put a lien on her house, and they're trying to charge her $70,000 just to sell the house. And she just lost her husband, man. So like, it's just, you know, it was horrible to see. But when you share a story like that and you say you got it done, and you persevered, you pushed through, people are gonna say, wow, they're really dedicated to their job. Was that?
You don't worry about any kind of liability.
I asked permission.
Or we don't use
From
names.
all parties.
I asked.
If the
permi-
details are.
I asked permission to tell the story
I got you.
first.
If it's negative.
Plus, we're delicate on the details.
Yeah, we kind of
Rainbows.
fluff it and don't go that specific,
Right.
but I'm just telling you, that's what happened. I said something a lot less harsh than that. But
You have to be a private detective, so. figure everything out from the actual post, right? That's
Yeah.
the-
But that's what the stories and like how you overcome obstacles, that's what I'm talking about. That's what's gonna get people to be like, wow, that guy's really dedicated to his job and loyal to his clients. And that's the kind of person I want to listen to be my $3 million waterfront home with.
Exactly, that helps people make sure that they know you're not a used car salesman, because that's what everybody thinks we are. What were you saying? And connecting with other agents, that is a great way, especially right now, everybody's moving here, a great way to attract the market. I mean, even with other agents have the pick of the litter, right? If there's somebody in Minnesota and they want to connect with an agent down here, they have the pick of the litter. They have 1,000 people to choose from. So if you start friending people elsewhere and they see you're cool, you're honest, you're dedicated, you're a great agent, maybe you're not as busy as they think you are. Maybe they can look you up on command, but maybe they don't. But if they're following you, and maybe they're going to give you a chance, whatever, it doesn't matter. Friend other agents in other markets.
Become part of niche groups. Like, have you guys heard of the sports and entertainment division that came out? So it was only, I think it's like 1,000 agents or something were invited to do it. Like, be a part of KW Luxury. If you're under 40, you could be KWYP, Young Professionals, and like be part of these networks and network with each other. So you can pass referrals back and forth. You need to figure out the group that you want to be a part of. Does that make sense?
Yeah. How many of you want to refer to an agent who's not cool, likable, and good at their job? Who wants it? Nobody. And vice versa, right? Yes.
I'm like, nah, not that. I had a question. So one of the questions that I wanted to know about connecting with other agents, because I do have some other agents that I'm trying to connect with, but do you friend them? Like, I'm not trying to word this. I have a connection in Colorado. I just met him actually. And he took on a project that it was very difficult to begin with, but he decided to accept it. So I wasn't thinking, but should I friend him on Facebook and then try to stay
In contact?
Well, once you friend him, just message him and say, hey, how are you doing? It's a pleasure meeting you. Is there anything I can help you with? And that's literally it. And then when you do that, and then you post, he's gonna start seeing all your posts because you messaged him. Okay, and then as you.
Just send a friend request
Yeah.
and he accepts and then.
Yep.
It might be a good idea to write down all your referral partners on something that you can turn back to you. So there are a couple interior KW referral groups that we're a part of that are specific referral groups. They like one agent in one area, we're a part of it. Like there are groups like that. Maybe you could either create one or you could write it all down so that you know who they all are, because I mean, there's 50 states.
Make like a little Excel spreadsheet.
Yeah.
Make an Excel spreadsheet of all your referral clients and just save it to your computer.
We're gonna talk about how to do that with people that you've like known from the past as well.
Boom! Are you guys getting value from this so far?
Yeah.
Okay, awesome.
So this is my favorite thing to talk about, and I'll tell you guys a story. I came from a little redneck town called Brooksville, Florida, and we had a lot of athletes coming from our schools, but one of my sister's friends was a doctor, right? Well, is a doctor. He's a ER doctor. He bought a house in this community called Paseo. It was around $600,000. He ended up friending me because I remembered him from my sister, and I went to high school with his sister. And so when he friended me,
Sorry, I have to go listen.
he saw how we were posting, right? And he reached out to me one day and he's like, hey, Nick, I know I didn't buy my house with you, but I see you're killing it and I want you to sell my house and I want to buy a house. So guess what that turned into? It turned into about 6 million in volume from not only him, but 3 other doctors as well. See what I'm saying? So this reminds you of all the people you do business with every single day that you're paying your money to. Why aren't they doing business with you? I mean, that's not a legit damn question right there, right?
And that's just a little, it's a modicum of how many, you can look up memory jogger.
Look this up on
Look it up.
Google and print one out. Okay, everybody needs to write this down. I'm telling you, this is gold right here. Because what you do is you take all these people that you know that you do business with and you friend them on social media. Okay? There's another way of doing it too. Say you guys use LinkedIn.
Yeah.
All right, so on LinkedIn, so much more fun than Facebook for me because I can actually search CEOs, right? CEOs in Boca Raton. And then what do? You go back to Facebook and friend them.
And recommend them.
Because we're talking about getting the upper echelon, getting into luxury getting the people that have money on your social media. Okay, because obviously we're in this business to make money. We're not greedy, right? But we want to get those influencers that are on there, because when you do a fantastic job for them, they're gonna tell everybody, just like my doctor did. I sold him a lot, and where his house is now for $120,000, they're going for 500 grand right now, and it was off market. I literally searched the community, found empty lots, found out who the owner was of that lot. And then I looked up on MLS who sold that owner of that lot, and I called that guy and I said, do you want to sell your property? And he said, yes. So because I put that legwork in, he built a Abishon, or no, it wasn't Rudberg, Arthur Rudberg home. And then his friend wanted to move 2 doors down, so I sold him that $1 million house. And then he just referred me another one that we were closing on this month. I believe it's gonna be about 1.9 million. So.
But back at the beginning of that, I mean, back to the premise of Nick wasn't jaded.
Yeah.
By not being used, right? When
Exactly.
you're carbon neutral, people, they want positivity, especially over these past 2 years. There's so much negativity. And if you can be that positive beacon, I'm telling you, people are gonna latch right onto you. Yes, ma'am.
Never
So
gonna.
yeah, talking about LinkedIn, if you have a page that your previous job,
Mhm.
and you want to let them know that now you have your license.
Yes.
You think it better to go into the LinkedIn or get all these people try to connect?
You can do both. I mean, literally I post on LinkedIn, but it's always business, okay? Sometimes I'll post little lifestyle stuff, but mostly just business on there. And I just have more fun on Facebook and I enjoy it. It's like my job. And so that's where I focus on, because that's where we did 65 million. You see what I mean? So if you started doing 65 million on LinkedIn, where are you gonna focus on? Right? So whatever's working for you, you gotta 10X it and double down on that until you perfect it. And then now that we've perfected this pretty much, we're gonna start bringing it to other platforms. And then we're gonna figure out those platforms. And then we're gonna teach on those too. Does that make sense? You don't ever wanna leave something that's doing this for you when it's doing such a good job and give it up. You know what I mean? So that's just my viewpoint. But definitely look this up and do this, because it's gonna help your network expand like crazy.
And you can keep it all on Facebook. You can add these people into command.
It's whatever you like to do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Whatever you enjoy is what you should be doing. That's the whole reason I do real estate, is because I get to go play golf while I'm closing deals. You know what I mean? And that's what's up.
Yeah.
Anything else on this?
I did. Personal trainers. My uncle Rich, I'm meeting him for dinner later for my dad's birthday. He has a personal trainer friend. He's also a real estate agent and he does luxury. And he says, hey, my personal trainer wants to come meet you. Can you meet us early for dinner? Because he has a buyer for $1 million in Naples. Can you meet us early? I said, damn right, I'll be there. You know, so personal trainers, like anyone that you interact with, anyone with legs is a check.
Or without everybody.
I remember in real estate school at Gold Coast in Boca, the guy was 85 years old and he goes, remember, there's a check out there with your name on it.
So these are just, this is just a few of the apps that we use. There's a ton out there. This is some of the stuff that we use.
I'll walk through them real fast, because I use all these. So PixArt, this is easy to put overlays of your logos on your pictures, and then blend them in so that you don't see like a black backdrop on your logo, and it actually like blends it to the picture. Super easy to do, it's free. All these are free, actually. Pexels is amazing. Once we go to our social media, are we gonna be able to do that?
Yeah.
Okay, once we go to our social media, you're gonna see our backdrops and how they look. And my picture anyway, was from Pexels, which is a non-copyrighted photos.
Photos and videos.
And videos. So you can use them for any type of marketing and not get in trouble. Okay, and they're free. You can pay for some that are like amazing if you really want to, but you don't. So PicMonkey, we actually use that to build these slides. Okay, you can use it for anything. PicMonkey is awesome because have you ever posted a picture on an Instagram backdrop or a profile picture and it's all like wonky and that doesn't fit? Well, they have templates on here that will allow that picture to either be shrank or to be grown to where it's going to fit perfectly and it looks cohesive on your social medias. Okay, and they'll have LinkedIn backdrops, profile picture, all that stuff, to where you just put the picture in there and expand it. But it's free. No, this one is not. This one is the only one that is not.
Okay, but that has so much value. We did this slide on there. You can do letterheads, you can do collages. Legit, I mean,
They already have literally posts or anything that you want, like if you want to do open house flyers or anything like that, they actually have templates where they're already built. Kind of like Command does, but it's for social media.
and there's more options.
So pick, post, play. This is like, if you want to do before and afters, you can do videos and put them next to each other, properties you're flipping, stuff like that. Word swag, this is just like, overlays for words that are, what do you call them? No, the letters, like, fonts, thank you, fonts, brain fart. So all different kinds of fonts that you can use, and this is free too. You can pay for it to get better fonts, but fonts that are on there are fine, honestly. So
Earlier, when you were talking about Renry Park, you mentioned something called, I think you said Snapseed, is that?
that's Steve.
That's another thing. Yeah,
It's a filter.
It does.
Yeah.
But if you can, it just lets you change a whole bunch of different settings.
It makes your pictures pop,
Yeah.
is what it does.
And it's free.
It's free.
The next one, boom. This is where it's at.
Go ahead, Josh.
Guys, are ready for
Come
this? So all of these, this is how you get leads for free. Sending messages. We send 20 messages a day, sometimes 50. What messages do we send? It's a great question. So holidays, events, people liking your posts, people liking your posts and other pages. Steve is the message master, so go for it.
Okay, so, digital door knocking, has anyone? Oh, Kevin, groups, Steve, what? When people like, back to her. When people like your posts, what you need to do is go through all those people. So say you post a picture of the beach, you'll get 200 likes. You go down that list, you see who's kind of normal, and you add them as friends. Okay? And you're gonna start seeing your friends list go up and up and up. And once your friend list starts going up to around a few thousand people, or 3, 4, 5,000, you want to ultimately max out your friends list. And once you have a good amount, you start going through the alphabet and you start digital door knocking. You guys ever heard the term digital door knocking?
No.
So
How many people like door knocking? We just raise your hand.
Like it?
Like it, like it. You have a question? That's fine.
Sorry, I'm chuckling. So when you do a post, it's public,
Yeah.
right? So people are gonna like it, even if they're, so as you start to build this, people will like it, but they're not your friends.
right,
That's what you're saying. So
not
go
yet.
through I'm systematic, so I'm sorry, so I have to.
No,
No.
So if I'm sitting there and they're liking it, I'm public, and they like it, I'll friend them.
Yeah, right.
And then,
If they look normal and they look like, and they don't look crazy. Don't just go through and like.
no, but
yeah.
I
I
I'm
look
very
at people's stuff
systematic,
first.
so that's what I'm trying to make sure.
You can make this very systematic.
Okay,
You
Yeah.
really can.
So
okay.
you'll start seeing your friends list grow. That's the whole point of this on your Facebook list. And you do what's called, I call it digital door knocking. So instead of imagine if you were walking in a neighborhood and you were door knocking, walking door to door in this 90-degree South Florida summer heat in your suit or your dress and you're sweating your butt off, which I would never want to do. And imagine if you saw a green dot on top of the house. Everyone's looking at me like I'm crazy. You guys all have Facebook Messenger, right? So everyone take out your phones, please. This is an interactive part. Open your, open your Facebook Messenger. Okay? Do you see all the green dots?
They're live.
They're live.
They're live.
They are home right now, right? So imagine if you were door knocking in a neighborhood in the sweltering South Florida heat and you see a green dot on the house. Would you go up to the house?
Yes.
Yes.
If there was not a green dot on top of the house, would you go up to the house? No, you wouldn't. Because if they're home, they're sitting there waiting for you to talk to them. And there are literally hundreds of friends on Facebook right now that are sitting at their job or at home or at soccer practice like Nick is, and they want to talk to somebody. Might as well be you.
You get this, the more friends you have, the more people are gonna be online.
And
Right.
then, so you're really, this I didn't know this. It's like you talked to me, but I didn't know if you messaged them. Cause you always wonder, where do your friends go? Where do your people go on Facebook? They're like, you don't see anybody anymore. So if you start to message them, hey, how you doing? You'll start to see their stuff.
The average.
They'll start seeing yours too.
The average people see between 5 and 10% of their friend list, but if you start interacting with more, it's gonna be higher. You'll never see 100.
Think about it this way, go through A through Z and do A, B, C
Yep.
one day,
Yeah.
and D, E, F.
Well, it's like do the letters for in command.
Exactly.
You know.
Yeah.
And here's the gold. I'm gonna drop a gold nugget for you guys. This is what has worked for us, and I'm gonna share it with you if that's okay. So there's lead generation versus lead assumption. What do I mean by that? Lead assumption is you're assuming that they're gonna do the business with you just because they're Facebook friends. Lead generation is only lead gen truly if you're asking, who do you know who's looking to buy or sell real estate in 2022? So I would go, if I were you, like just when COVID hit, we sent care messages. So what I did, I went through A to Z and I would message people and I would say, hey, how you doing? Hope you guys are staying safe, happy and healthy. And they'll say, oh, thank you so much for reaching out. That really means the world. You know, we're hanging in there, blah, blah. I'm like, has your job been impacted? Like, is everything okay? You know, and then the next time you hit them with, by the way, there's the by the way, ... Do you know anyone who's looking to do anything with real estate in 2022? I would absolutely love an intro. That is lead generation. And if you do that 25 times a day, that is a lot of people a week. And it's all about numbers. It's all about numbers. You can hit 25 people online in like 10 minutes. And your lead gen's done for the day. Instead of sweltering hot heat in the cove in the summertime, you can get it done like that. And guess what? They're gonna answer you quick too. I don't think they're gonna answer if they're not home. You're knocking at the door, like, no one's answering me.
Thing is, you gotta leave it with an open-ended question so that they feel like they have to answer you.
So, another question. So like if you're doing farming, earth farm, we'll do earth
Farm
farm.
Earth, yep.
So if you just sold the property, you know the people's names, because you, well, we do IMAPs and you find out who your target area. Would you go on Facebook and kind of try and find them and friend them?
I have done that. Yeah.
Because like if I have, I just,
Go
yeah.
friend, go friend Fisbos.
Wait, I'm gonna blow your mind. I'm gonna blow your mind,
Yeah,
okay?
blow it, just.
Well,
I'm gonna send you my emoji, because I just have an iPhone that has my face and my head one.
Good, good. So I want you guys to go on Facebook.
Yeah.
Go on Facebook and search your community on Facebook and see if there's a private Facebook group for your community. Right?
Oh, yeah. like
This
next
is-
door.
Not
Wow.
even, this is
I'm not
different.
just saying,
Like,
yeah.
If you go on Facebook and look up your group name, like your neighborhood's name, add yourself to the group. It's a I'm sure that you all have one. It's a
Next door.
Next
Yeah,
one's
it
great
is.
too.
Yeah.
But so me personally, I live in a place called Saturnia Lakes built by GL Homes. And I found that group, added myself to it. I'm always posting community stuff in there. I never post real estate in it. One day I add somebody, 2 months later, I had just moved to Naples. This guy says, hey man, I've been following your stuff for a couple months now. Your daughter's beautiful, like congratulations. By the way, I'm looking to sell my house. You come over. I went over.
It's already pending.
It closes next week for 800 cash. I met him on my neighborhood Facebook group. I never met him in person.
You should friend every single person in that group.
And never post real estate. You post the community. What's going on in the community? She knows what I'm talking about. You post pictures of the community pool. You and your kids at the playground. Oh, it's such an amazing Saturday here in the Cove. You know, things like that. And I guarantee, like, you will become that neighborhood expert. Because Facebook groups, especially for the neighborhoods, I consider it to be the online block parties. Remember like the 90s and the 80s, like where people would be outside all the time and like throwing water balloons and barbecuing? Like that unfortunately, that doesn't happen much nowadays. It's all, the block parties are online. And people, remember when people complain to your face, like, oh, this is going on, and then in person, that's online now.
You got that right.
So be your neighborhood expert and find your community's Facebook group and add yourself to it.
There isn't one, make one.
If there isn't one, you better make one.
Own it. So comments, comment on other posts, when people comment on your posts, comment back. I think there's like a rule of thumb, that's more than 3 words, it's gonna get more engagement or something like that. But the people who comment on your things, if it's somebody you talk to all the time, feel free to send them a message. Does anybody have a question on what kind of message to send? I mean, I know that we kind of just said that, but yeah. You guys wanna know what kind of message is? You found that? So there's, I mean, you can honestly send any message that you want. If it's just, if you're an A through Z, like Steve said during COVID, it was very easy for us to send care messages here on Facebook. You could call, you could send text messages. Currently, right now, you could, if they interacted with your post, you could say, hey, thanks for liking my post. I hope you're having a great day. Hey, thanks, I appreciate that. You too. And you can ask them an open-ended question. You could message them about holidays when the new year comes around. Hey, happy new year. I hope you have a great 2022. You could see somebody, maybe somebody just got married. You message them about that. You should message them about anything. And you can be direct with asking them for business. You can be indirect. It's your choice. We're a fan of asking questions because it creates a script. Yes.
So, sorry, I'm sorry. No, so if you're sending pictures, so if I were to send like Happy New Year's and Happy 4th of July,
Mhm.
and you do a picture, would you brand it, but, put your real estate? No, so
I
just
wouldn't.
do like
I
a,
wouldn't. I mean,
okay.
I would honestly just send a message. 4th of July will be coming up sooner or later. What are we close to? Mother's Day's coming up? No, we're in March, man. Perfect. You can even remind people about the other day.
So I love gifts because gifts are freaking amazing. They're funny.
Yeah.
You know what a GIF is?
Yes.
Okay, so you could literally do a GIF of a leprechaun.
Yeah.
And once you send it to one person, you can actually share that to every single person on your Facebook by just clicking share to their messenger. So you don't even have to do the A through F or anything like that. So that's just the easy, fast way of doing it. Yes, go ahead.
Things of what to Jesus.
Suggested for those of us who are very private.
Go to a different profession.
I'm
sorry.
No, I mean, you don't have to be. I'm very introverted. I'm very private. I do large amounts of business,
Yep.
but it's not because of this, and I'm trying to do something new, but like
So
putting yourself
this is,
out there.
let me tell her how to do it because it's super easy. On your Facebook page, you can choose to make stuff public and private. It's true. So if you want to choose to make a lifestyle post public, then all you have to do is go up to the top and make it public. If you want to post about your kids and keep it private, then you can do that as well.
I do that.
Friends, right?
Friends only, exactly. So that's your answer, and that's how easy it is. It's really not. You don't want to overthink it and think I'm an introvert. I can't do this because my wife is an introvert and she's made 5 times the money I made by doing this. And just by being herself on social media and sharing the things that she wants to share, not sharing everything that we're telling you to. This is how we do it. You do business different than I do, and you do, and you do, and you do. So you have to figure out what nuggets you can take from this and share in your own way and make it your own. Because if everybody's copying everything all the time, it's not going to be authentic. And when you're not authentic, people do not trust you. Okay, so that's my advice on that. Does that make sense? Yeah.
And before we go into.
Not really? You don't act like that.
I'm just scared.
Facebook was
That's all,
off,
like,
my,
I
yeah,
put
my
myself
Facebook was
out
off for 3 years,
Mhm.
Yeah.
right? I just turned it on and I could have, so for me, it's a snowball analogy. This is a snowball that can turn into an avalanche for every single one of us. That's what happened to me. That's what happened to our team. And it's possible for you to do it as well. You have to be committed. When you start, I'm not sure about, I mean, you're all in. It took
Jump
me
and build your wings.
It took me 8 months
Yeah.
to get rocking and rolling, but it could have been 4, could have been 3, could have been 1. I wasn't confident. Now I'm confident, so I teach all the classes that we do.
I don't like entertaining people, right? Like.
Well, the more you do it, the more you're gonna like it.
Yeah.
I'm serious.
See me everywhere.
Like, could you get up here and speak like we are right now?
I think you told me.
Well, then that's what I'm trying to say is you gotta find where your comfort zone is with doing it and then win that way. Does that make sense?
And it's not for everyone.
But you have to keep trying until you figure out what it is. And if you don't try, then you're never gonna know.
You have a company you can hire.
Paperless agent.
Well, the thing is, when you hire a company, it's not you.
Yes, I found.
You see what I
And
mean?
it's not authentic.
It needs to be authentic.
And people won't trust you because they know it's fake.
But also remember, like I said earlier, people's attention spans are the shortest that they ever have been. So, I mean, you put something up there that you're not comfortable with, a day later, no one's gonna remember. They're moving on to the next thing. They still know who you are, they still know what you do, but they've got 1,000 posts to
Let
look
me,
at.
let me see if I can narrow down the fear is, I'm a very goofy person for those. who
You're not
know
goofy.
me.
You haven't spent enough time with us.
I'm so goofy.
Like so much fun, like I think I sent Victor the other day, I dropped my fresh pressed juice and just beet juice went everywhere.
You should have posted that.
Yeah,
That's what I'm saying.
right?
Great content. You should have
But then
posted
there are
that.
people gonna take me serious as a professional.
No, but no one, who's walking around serious all the time?
So, nobody. So on that note,
Okay, that's what you're saying.
Everyone is like us, man. Like everyone, no one's perfect. No one is perfect and just all business all the time.
there is going to be
Everyone takes a shit in the morning.
Okay, so just put that stuff out there.
They are keeping that out there.
I challenge you to do it and tag me. I challenge you to do it and tag me by the end of the week. Nick Westbrook.
And so to your point of people gonna take it seriously now, there are a certain number of people who want that professionalism, right? And you're gonna get that business or you're not. But there are, how many people on Facebook every month? 3.5 billion, right? The world is yours.
I've become to a place in my life where if you don't like me, I'm okay with that. I'm not gonna
You used to
pretend.
care, though.
I used to care, but once you free yourself from like judgment and just you're yourself, the whole world opens up. And you attract it.
Yep.
It's the law of attraction. You know, it's like you're feeling good and you love what's happening in your life, that business is gonna come marching to you.
Okay.
I know
You
we're getting-
manifest it.
I know we're getting low on time. I don't wanna miss you the question, I'm sorry.
Yeah, you touched on some things that I wish you had elaborated a little bit more. You said real TikTok.
Yes, we will talk about
We're
that.
still getting to
And then you
that stuff.
also said something about reviews. So my daughter actually changed my perception about reviews. My daughter, she won't buy, she won't shop, she won't do anything if there are not at least 4-star reviews.
Yeah.
And not just the ones on top. Like she's reading through to make sure
Mhm.
that it's not just the first two, because of a bad situation that I had. I bought some furniture and I saw 2 reviews. I followed her advice. I saw 2 reviews. They were really good. I was like, oh, okay, good. And then I had these.
What's your name?
Emmy.
Emmy. So
It's a great
Emmy,
name.
so Emmy, so if someone goes to meet you right now and you want a listening appointment, right?
Yeah.
And like, okay, Emmy, thanks so much for coming by, we'll let you know, right? What's the first thing that they're gonna do? They're gonna Google you.
Yeah.
So this is what you need
So
to
what's
do.
gonna happen? You need to make sure that you have Google reviews and all these Zillow and Realtor.com reviews of you.
Yeah, but this is how you do it though. You do it before you close.
Yeah.
Before you close that deal, the day before, you get them to do the review because after they close, they're not gonna do it. Okay, and the way that you do it is you go to your Zillow link, you copy that link, your review link, you post it, you paste it in your notes. You go to your business page, you copy that link for reviews, you post it in your notes. And then you go to Google and you look yourself up and you take that link and you post it in your notes. You take all 3 of them.
Yep.
And then you send that message to them of, here, please let me know how I did, however you want to say it. You send them all those links and just say, simply just copy and paste and let me know how I did. I strive for 5s.
Yeah.
And then they can do all 3 reviews right there at one time.
And they can do the same review for each.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Yep.
And then before you know it, you have 15 reviews from each. I'm sure, like, if you did 10 deals this past year, you'll have 10 reviews. And all 5 stars, I'm sure.
but you have to ask for it.
So,
I just
so,
started in January, so.
That's all right.
Hey, that's okay.
You're doing the right thing by coming here and listening to this, because we're gonna teach you those simple things to make your life easier, you know what I mean? And
We don't have too much time, so I want to touch, because these are important.
Yes.
We're gonna finish up these thoughts here before everybody has to go. Let's talk about guess that price. This is Nick's baby. This is a beautiful tool. This
yes,
is a beautiful tool.
so whenever I get a listing, and I started doing this probably two or 3 years ago. Whenever I get a listing, I get all my photography, right? That's all my marketing, okay? And then I take those pictures, and we don't list properties until Monday. Does that sound weird? You guys know why? Clear cooperation. You guys know what clear cooperation is?
Well, y'all gotta know this.
You guys really need to know this, because you get in trouble if you're doing some of the stuff that we're telling you to do with real estate. If I post a house that I'm listing, it has to be listed within 24 hours of that time I post it, right? So if I post it on Friday, guess what? It's one business day. So what does that mean? I can market it all through the weekend until Monday.
Only way you're gonna get a double in
Yes.
these days.
So-
So you post on Monday or Friday?
I list the property on Monday and I post the property on Friday.
The Friday prior?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. And so what I do though, is I take the house, and I have an example, because I just listed 2 properties, 1.5 mil on Monday on my Facebook, and I did guess that price for both of them. And when I do it, I literally do not give addresses, because why would you do that, right? Because people are guessing. So I just break down the features of the property: 3-bedroom, 2-bath, pool home, on 5 acres, horse barn. You see what I mean? And then people start guessing. So what's that doing? That's putting people into your algorithm, right? It's engagement. So every time someone guess, I give them 3 guesses, okay? And then every time that someone guess, I put underneath it a funny GIF of like no, like a dog saying no or something like that. And I just keep going, and it's super easy to do. And then once that person guesses it right, sometimes I have 400 comments, guys, and I've talked to 400 people within an hour. Okay, and then once that one person guesses it right, I send them $10 through Facebook Messenger.
like a Starbucks card.
So guess what that does? It makes people look at my Facebook to see when I'm doing it. And then when I start doing it, literally people will message me and be like, "That was so much fun. When's the next one?"
So it's a game.
It's a game.
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, and then guess what else?
It's free. It's free. And
Yes,
here's
Shannon.
the-
Why listen on a Monday? I feel like so many people always want to see houses on the weekend or
So
not.
that we can market it and try to double end it.
Because that's the only way to do that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you can, but.
You
for us
could
to-
listen, you could listen on Friday after you do guess that price, if you want. That way people can get through on the weekend, but we want more time to be able to market it through email, through social media.
Plus, if someone's actually interested, like, I'm actually interested, could I potentially see this house before it hits the market?
Yeah, exactly.
So is guess that price a post or a story?
It's a post.
Okay.
We have an example, we'll show you.
The post or the story, the people on my Instagram at least.
Yeah.
I've generated 3,000 followers on my Instagram.
That's awesome.
We're doing this or that. you
Yeah.
know, just posting
Exactly.
this
Monitor
or that. They
Yeah.
love that.
Yeah.
Cool.
Oh, yeah, that
My
for sure.
engagements are through the roof.
But here's a cool thing about the guess that price. The people that start following us because of that, the potential sellers on Facebook, want to be a part of this.
They want to list their property with me because I do it.
I can't tell you how many, Nick doesn't go on listing appointments. He's our heavy lister on our team. He doesn't go on listing appointments. He goes on listing confirmations. And I mean that.
Literally, it's, I want you
mean
to
that.
come list my property.
Facebook is our constant listing
about price.
presentation.
Mhm.
I didn't say it earlier, but it's 24/7. It never stops. The thing about 3 hours of lead gen is you do it 3 hours a day. Facebook, social media is 24/7. That's the beautiful thing about the whole, that's why Facebook is so amazing.
And doing stuff like this created pretty much so much confidence in me that I walk into the house, I already know I have it, I act like I have it, and I don't even bring anything other than myself. And because I send them a pre-listing package that shows a CMA, about us, some photos,
That sheet.
and a net sheet. And then I walk in the door, I talk to them about their family, I look at their house for 5 minutes, and I get them to sign a listing agreement. So
What do they
that's
teach
just
you?
the power of social media, guys. They already know me before I even walk in the door.
It's mine if I choose to take it.
Yeah, exactly.
Groups, so we talked a lot about groups, so let's use Google.
Yep, we already went over that.
Do we feel like we have at least a basic understanding of groups? Right, groups is an in-depth thing. definitely be involved with it.
And I wanna also encourage you guys to follow us three and see what we do and emulate it.
Can you guys, on that note, can you give us all your names?
Yeah.
Totally, we have a slide with our stuff.
Okay.
Yes, sir, yes, sir.
Uh,
Adding friends, add 20 people a day, you might get 10 of them to accept you. Who do you add? There's a people you may know section. It's, in these days, especially because everybody's spamming with their friends, people who have mutual friends with you, usually 5 or more, are gonna be more susceptible to accepting your friend request. And on a computer, it's very easy. There's a people you may know section on the left, and then you can just pull a profile up on the right, and you just pick and choose. Takes 5 minutes.
Go to those CEOs, those doctors, those lawyers, all those people, and you click on their profile, and there you go.
And you also wanna get,
Steal their network.
and you wanna get in with your friends' friends.
Yep.
Right, so you wanna engage in your friends' comments. Like you see somebody posted like, oh, I love my new hair, and her friend's like, oh, I love it too. And then you, under her comment, you say something like, oh yeah, I love that hair too, it's great. And then like she likes your comment, and then you add her as a friend, because, you know, that's how it goes.
Yeah.
And it's like, and that's how you're building it every day, with friends of friends.
This is our legion and how we do it. It's fun, right?
Yeah.
It's totally different than anything you've probably ever heard in your life, isn't it?
Have you guys ever heard anything like this in this office?
This office, yeah, collective group that.
Yeah, Matt is a really good friend of mine. Me and him started together at KW Boca on the west side. And what Matt does is astounding, and he's like truly an inspiration to me.
More video.
So, yeah, and he knows what's up. He does it really well, so. Yes,
Yeah.
follow Matt as well.
So all of these top ones right here, that's unbelievable, look at that. All these top ones here lead up to this.
You just found out.
This is where, I knew it was ours, correct. So this is where we are right now. Ideally, you want to get to a point where people are friending you, like that's the celebrity thing I was talking about. When people want to follow you, they idolize you, whether that's good or bad, it doesn't matter, it's building a business.
Insta famous.
Insta famous. All of this right here, doing this will eventually add up to this. And that's how people like Steven get to 5,000 friends. And how Nick all of a sudden got to 4,000. That's awesome.
1,000 in a month.
All I'm saying, these strategies, like literally, I'll just be transparent, they changed my life. I'll be real with you, I had no money, and doing this is what grew this entire team. Yeah.
Question.
One question for all, do your wives have their own separate accounts?
Yeah. My wife doesn't even use hers.
My wife's the OG.
Yeah. My wife stays out of it.
My wife posted her car this morning, and I just bought her a Palisade yesterday, and she had like 200 likes in 30 minutes. She's the one that pretty much taught us what we did.
So not pretty much.
Yeah, she did.
Totally.
There you go.
What did I do?
Malfunction. At the end of the cycle.
Laser pointer doesn't like that.
Yeah, there we go. I'll just click it, that's fine. So Facebook videos, videos are, they help the audience connect with you. I know everybody, not everybody, but a lot of people are really nervous about doing videos. Like I said earlier, 7 seconds attention span, just get it over with. People like authenticity. You're not a professional videographer, it doesn't matter. Just go out there, do a video, a new listing. Maybe you're at the pier, you're in the water, just share it.
I always say keep it to a minute.
Yeah, you don't want it to be too long. YouTube is 10 minutes, but that's.
So you keep it to 30 seconds on stories, you keep it a minute on TikTok. Same thing with Facebook stories as well, as 30 seconds, but you can break up a video and do 30, 30, 30, and it'll keep going. Yeah, I'm sure you guys know that.
Facebook groups, there's a new Google, touching on it again because it's such a big point. Anything you're looking for can be found in a Facebook group, and if it's not there, create it. Because 3.5 billion people are on Facebook.
Please look up your neighborhoods.
Yeah.
Please, because that's gonna be a huge source.
Or if you're a boater, you're a golfer, you like shopping, you like hairstyle, I mean, literally whatever you do, find other people that you can relate with. And then Facebook Reels. So Facebook Reels, because Facebook has the largest audience, it has the ability to reach untold amounts of people for zero cost. I mean, like we said earlier, I've got some videos that have 5 million views on it. And there's no rhyme or reason to it. I'm just real goofy. For some things stick and some things don't.
You don't know until you post it.
Exactly. I've got some examples of some posts that we do here.
I say you just pull it from Facebook.
All right, yeah, we'll go look.
The escape key at the top left of the keyboard.
Read this, bro.
Which one?
Yeah, well, it's not the whole thing, but.
Doesn't matter.
This?
No, yeah,
That
that
one, that
one.
one.
So we won the Millionaire Real Estate Agent Award this year. How awesome is that, right? We paid out over 1.5 million to our team in commissions, it almost makes me cry. So I literally just started my post with this. After almost losing everything in 2017 to rebuilding my business to create income for myself, my family, and my real estate family, we were rewarded today for our hard work and won the Millionaire Real Estate Agent Reward, Regional Award for paying out over 1.5 million in commissions in 2021. Let this be a lesson to anyone who is hurting, depressed, or financial hardship. We are proof that hard work, dedication to your business will always pay off in the long run.
Yeah, man, that's what it's about,
Right?
right?
And this is how we post. This is what I'm talking about.
Just get
This
421 likes on
this
that.
brings people in because they know that I've effed up.
295 comments.
Yeah,
Crazy.
400 and it's a picture of a medal.
Did
So-
you read all of those?
What's that?
Did you read all of those?
I go on and I comment thank you or, anything like that underneath when someone says something.
Yeah, half of those comments are ours.
Yes. Yeah, half of those are
So
yours.
what?
And this
So what?
is the house that I listed for my neighborhood.
And do you see this is our logo right here, right over top?
Yeah.
So
We did that. with one
subliminal
of those apps.
branding.
Pixar.
Yeah, Pixar.
Yeah, that was Pixar. Yeah.
You just want to go on Facebook now?
Yeah, go ahead.
Is
So
there any
we're gonna
questions?
go to our pages and show you how we post right now, so you can kind of see.
Is there
You
any
guys wanna do
questions
that?
that you guys have before we get to the last part?
You guys have a YouTube channel?
We do. Luxury Limestone. Just look it up.
Are you gonna talk about the Facebook
Alliance.
business?
Luxury Limestone.
You said no Facebook, use Facebook business page for like reviews and stuff.
Yeah.
So if I have, so just use my personal, but I have Instagram personal and business. So I'm not even
Go ahead
using
and add yourself.
personal.
Yeah, go ahead and add yourself.
That's my wife.
Worry about it.
Oh, there's the show.
But
Yeah.
would you name it a certain?
Keep going down. Show me.
Cameras Realty?
What?
That's me driving here this morning, post my
I
face.
don't
Go
use
like that.
Instagram personal.
Just business.
I was tagged in that one.
Do your friends follow it?
This is a $5 million house that we went to yesterday.
Yeah.
Keep right for that.
So you can, this is the letter that I wrote back when I was in college. I don't even think I was in college. It was like entry to college. Keep going. So funny stuff. Read that. So that's the humor that we're talking about, right? So you're starting to see the jab, jab, jabs. This is a horse farm I just listed for $900,000.
I was just gonna say, like, that funny thing that you just found, I'm not real social media savvy, where do you find something like that?
Follow
I
pages.
just go to groups and look at like, you can go to like LOL groups, you can go to like funny meme groups.
And search
Pin-
for it.
Pinterest, you can search humor on Instagram and just click the hashtag.
There's pages.
But do you guys see, like, it's not real estate, like that's, but everybody knows.
Yeah. This is us, expanding to Ohio, we didn't really say anything, this is the guess that price that I did, I believe. That's just someone sharing my listing, keep going.
Buy dirt.
Yeah, buy dirt,
Gary Keller started saying that. He wore a shirt that says buy dirt.
we just made them.
We're trying to buy real estate also. I mean, we all own homes. We own properties together, and we're gonna start eventually building spec homes together.
So that we had the family over, Josh, Steven, their family, so we shared family that, this is actually my house. Keep going down, I'm gonna have, so I
What
made
are you
these
looking for?
demonstrate one.
What are you looking for particularly?
I keep going to guess that price.
Look at that there.
So I'm in a Marco Island group, right? And someone posted this, so I just stole it and put it on my page. I had 13 shares, 132 likes. This was Marco Island in 2009, and this is Marco Island today. 99, sorry.
Here, guess that
So
price.
here's guess that price, 47 comments. Just scroll down real fast.
It's because someone guessed the price already.
Yeah, click on, yeah, that way you can see what I'm doing, see?
Nope.
That's me. Might be some much.
See what I'm saying? It's just fun, right? So people follow it for that. There you go. All right, now go up to the very top of my page so I can show you. Go up to the very top. So this is where I built my backdrop off of the apps that I told you. So this is actually a Pexels picture that's free that I stole. This was from Word Swag, and I just made it look like that. It says lifestyle real estate, right? And then our team name. If you look at it from a phone, you can see more about me and stuff, but it's right there. So this is, I have everything that I've ever done in my life right here, and I have that because when you have all this stuff here,
It's a resume.
and algorithms. So anybody else that went to St. John's River Community College, they're gonna see my stuff, so on and so forth. So that's my whole page. Then I have like stuff here that I like to do.
Can you go to mine, Josh?
You guys kind of see the big picture now when it comes to how we post.
VOR.
So.
Go down.
How many posts are you doing a day?
3 to 4.
3 to 4. and then
Keep
how many
going down,
stories
keep
are you
going
doing?
down.
I do
Keep going
stories
down.
all day long.
Keep going.
Constantly?
Yeah, just whenever I'm doing, I
Keep
just.
going.
Every 24 hours, they.
Shayna's
exactly.
post, go down. Keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. I'm looking for my wedding one. Recently, so I got married a week ago. Right there, right there. Thank you very much.
It was over here too.
So it's my beautiful daughter Sophia, my beautiful wife Melissa, and we got married at Oceanic in Pompano Beach, literally a week ago. And I posted this, share your life, man. Like, share your true, like your authentic life. This got 480 likes and 109 comments, and like so much love, like outpouring of love.
So what do you do with those, Steve?
You message those
You see
people.
this?
Add friend, add friend, add friend.
This,
add friend.
this is because this is not Steve's.
Well, I'm
Yeah.
just
Well,
saying.
Scroll up though.
But
So like this, because if it was on his Facebook. all
this
it would
lady's
say-
in the office.
It would just say message, message.
Yeah, and but the whole power comes from messaging the people and saying, hey, thanks so much. I really appreciate you sending some love my way. By the way, who do you know is looking to buy or sell real estate in 2022 with love and intro? That's the crucial element.
And how many people think, like, how many people do you think, you've talked, you think you talked to 408 people? Like recently, 408 people, you're sending 25 messages a day.
It's a lot of houses to door knock.
Yeah, it's a lot of houses that door knock, but I guarantee you, Steve probably hasn't talked to half of those. So there's probably 200 people just waiting to be messaged right there, right? That's, so you gotta think about it that way.
Did you go to yours, Josh? Or Steve, you got anything else? Show Steve's backdrop, because I love his.
But the picture.
Yeah.
So Joya, who was here earlier, did the photography. This is the listing I double ended in Deerfield Beach that I told you about. It was called Orchid Beach. It's right south of the Hillsborough Pier.
But if you see the correlation of everything that we're showing you is they're all kind of similar, right? And same thing with our profile pictures as well, right? So when you go to his page, would you think that Steve's a realtor?
Yeah.
Right?
Your marketing, like, I don't know about you guys, but I absolutely hate, it's my biggest pet peeve when I see a listing and the pictures are shit. Cause it's like, I'm like, how is this lady in Manalapan getting a $90 million listing when the pictures suck? It like blows my mind, and it's like, I want my marketing to be so on point with everything I do.
Yeah, the classic,
Yeah,
like,
let me see that.
bathroom photo, the bathroom, in the mirror.
Thanks
for taking a picture of the fence.
So what we did was we took every listing that we sold last year and all of our photos, right? And so when you bring this to a seller and you're like, this is what your marketing is gonna look like of your property, right? They love it, and then you brand it.
And I want to go further too. I think everyone in this room needs to call your photographer or your videographer and set up just one afternoon of you filming a 30-second intro video, a professional intro video for you, saying who you are, what you're about, that you can text to every single potential client. Be like, oh, this is the kind of marketing I do.
It sucks. I hate it.
I like doing it. Josh likes doing it. He hates it.
I'm horrible at video, but I do it. Like, you still have to do stuff like that to set yourself apart.
Yeah,
right?
your marketing needs to make you stand out. Is there anything you want to touch on?
Did you want to show yours, Josh?
Yeah, Steve, are you done?
Should I talk about the coaching? Well, we're gonna be launching, we spent thousands of dollars and countless hours working on a coaching platform that you can go on and learn from called Social Success. And it's gonna be like modules where you can go on this website, you pay for the website, it's not gonna be that crazy, but it's basically breaking down everything that we do to teach you guys.
It's pretty much a school on
It's
exactly.
a school, it's a real estate school for us.
Go back
On
up,
social
Josh.
media.
Let's show them the beautiful $6.6 million house you sold last year.
There you go.
We had to sell their 2.8.
What's your IG, Josh?
On Facebook.
What was that?
I know. I think it's Mr. Josh Holt, but I don't do anything on this, because Facebook is my alma mater. It's everything for me.
They're integrated.
Yeah, they are, but for some reason, it just didn't work for me. And interesting, someone was talking earlier, I forget who it was, oh, it was Joy, she left. She talked about every time a social media app comes out, right, a new one, TikTok, Twitter, or whatever it is. This is why Facebook is number one, is they do their own version of it. They bought Instagram, they have Facebook Reels now, they're doing Threads to combat Twitter. I mean, Facebook is just, they're doing a metaverse, unfortunately. But, and just as you can see, like, these are just kind of what our posts are like. We're trying to be positive, you know, try to just, put nice quotes out there for people. That house that we saw yesterday, a little bit of humor.
I like this one.
Yeah. Look at 69 shares.
After seeing the price of the book.
69 shares, right? I just found it. I literally found it. Someone else's post. I screenshot it and cropped it. It took me 30 seconds to make that post. New listing. See, sometimes the listings don't get all the likes in the world. Sometimes they do. I want to take you to, oh man, I want to go back to December.
This is beautiful daughter Bella.
I want to show, oh yeah, that's my daughter. I mean, sorry.
Sorry. Right over
I did, I know. Well, there's a post that I did and let me see if I can start. Yeah.
Now we're showing you how to search profiles, or within, it's actually within his profile.
No, it's not gonna do it.
They posted right there.
Yeah, but I'm looking for last year.
It's on the left, like.
Wait, there you go. But this house, it was a total stranger that he met on Facebook. And he sold him that house for 2.4 million. 2.2 million, then later sold it a year and a half later for almost 3 million.
Jump. So this is what people know me for. They know me for running in the ocean in a suit, jumping in the water, the suit, we have closing. So this is my level of goofy. Right? Yeah. Just in the water.
She's talking about being goofy. That's being goofy.
See, this is what we're talking about.
Let me read this to you. I love this one. So the video speaks for itself. 1861 Oaks Boulevard is closed for 2.3 million. This one hits home a little bit. Our sellers lived in this house for over 30 years, raised 5 children in it, built an amazing family legacy, and took the fruits of their labors in the mountains of North Georgia. I'm filled with joy, absolutely filled. Not only were we able to facilitate a free post-occupancy of almost 2 months for our sellers, letting people know I can negotiate, right?
Yep.
We were able to solidify a cash purchase and waive an appraisal contingency. These are all fears that people have. So if you can let them know as a listing agent that you can get around it, people trust you. We helped them relocate from the entire other side of the country, national, to what could not be a more perfect home for them. Truly, I would not be lying to you if I told you that during a walkthrough, I saw one of the sellers crying as the eldest buyer's son played music on the piano in the family room. This is all true, by the way. I wouldn't be lying to you that if I told you during a 5-hour walkthrough, it included golf cart rides, ice cream shop visits, playing with the giant dog, life story sharing, amazing musical talent, playground shenanigans, and so much more. There has not been a transaction that's been more full circle than this one. Our sellers were able to walk away with more proceeds than anticipated during this transaction because of so many key players, and I can't thank them enough. I could not be more excited for them or the next chapter of their lives. Just knowing that we had a part in this brings me gratitude, and I can't express that in words alone. Gratitude all around. And all of that is everything in one, right? You've got the humor here, you've got the business, the personal, because I love my job, and then the lifestyle of Florida. Like that is Oh, an amazing post, and that was a real estate post. We got 108 likes on that, right? 27 comments, right? But that's just an example of one of those. Yeah, I mean, we could scroll through those for hours and hours and hours.
Just follow us, okay?
Yeah.
Well, that's really it.
Go to the slides again. Go to
Last
the-
slide here, we
Go
have-
to the end one. Yeah. So if you guys want to give us a follow, here's our names. Just search our names on Facebook and Instagram, on LinkedIn also.
Say your name spelled wrong.
It is?
Yep.
Well, don't use mine. then. You'll find me somehow. It's, my name is, it's Varun Cobb with a K. Varun Cobb. It's on the bottom. There you go, Steve Varun Cobb, there you go. We'll have to fix that. Before we wrap up, I just want to say on a personal note, how humbling and grateful I am to be standing here with you guys this afternoon, and how I think it's amazing you took your time out of your day to come listen to us. And
We feel blessed.
We're blessed and we appreciate it more than you ever know. So
Yeah.
thank you so much.
We love networking, so message us anytime, call us if you have any questions about the class or anything else that come later, because I know that happens, just shoot us a message.
And always, if you have any clients moving to the West Coast, like Marco Island, Naples, Bonita Springs, Fort Myers, Cape Coral, Sarasota, we can help you.
I've sold in Tampa too, I'm from Tampa, so.
Yeah. But you guys have any other questions before we?
So do you have a slide about your coaching?
Oh,
Not yet.
we do
no.
not.
No?
Not yet.
What?
We haven't launched the program,
Oh, okay.
we're still.
It's still in the
fleshing out
works.
something.
We're trying to build more platform teaching other than just Facebook, and that's what we have on right now. So it's gonna be LinkedIn, Instagram, everything all encompassed into one.
Yeah, and we're gonna continue teaching also. I think we're gonna be teaching at KW Innovations next and try to keep our speaking tour rolling.
Our goal is to teach every month.
Been to Key West 3 times, that's always fun.
But thank you guys so
Thank you,
much.
guys.
That was an awesome class.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
No, I didn't get real.
Thank you, guys. Brand new real estate and, Great. So y'all are important. I got my license on Saturday.